Welcome back for another edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted, the program where you get to help make Calhoun County a better and safer place by helping us lock up the bad guys. I'm Chris Wright, your host, along with John Garlick from the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office. Hey. I say us lock them up. I don't ever lock anybody up.
You don't? Well, you have scared some people into turning themselves in.
Yes.
They said, oh my God, it's Chris. Please lock me up.
There was a particular business that I'm not going to name on the TV program, but I was in this business a while back, and people would come in the door, see me, and walk back out because they were in there for a particular product that they didn't want to be seen purchasing by me.
It's hard to work in a massage parlor, isn't it?
That's not where it was. And I was not working there. But
at the massage parlor?
No.
Oh. But everybody
really
else
going to dig me a hole here. We're going to move on. Let's congratulate our viewers for the good work they have done this week.
They have done an outstanding job. 5 people arrested because of the tips and the information that we've gathered from everybody in Calhoun County. We really appreciate the work you guys are doing. 3,396 people behind bars since we started this. And you know, it warms your heart to know that people are out there and they really care enough to call.
A lot of great success associated with this show and what we've been doing, but we're not resting on our laurels. You and I were both at a meeting this morning with the Calhoun County Crime Stoppers Board, working on even more ways to reach out to the public and share information with them and help them protect themselves.
That's right. It's all about communicating back and forth between the citizens and law enforcement in order to make the community a safer place to live. And it's about citizens caring enough to step up and do something. You
know, it used to be that a lot of crimes never happened because you knew if you did something in public, somebody was going to see you and they absolutely would tell on you.
Right.
They would tell somebody, whether it's your mom or the sheriff or whoever, you're busted and there's going to be a problem. And our society today, we don't do enough of sharing that information when it's needed to help the law enforcement.
That's right. They need to be sharing information. They need to be caring about the community, and stop. We don't want people to sit back and just wait for somebody else to do it. If you see something, do something. Call somebody. Let somebody know. It's vitally important for everybody's safety.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we've got the first half of this week's lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
For emergency and non-emergency medical transportation, you can count on Anniston EMS.
Hello, I'm Johnny Warren with Anniston EMS, and we appreciate the opportunity to provide support for the Calhoun County's Most Wanted program. And I would like to remind everyone out there that if they need any medical transportation needs, please don't hesitate to call us.
Call Anniston EMS at 256-237-8572.
Big news for homebuyers searching through all those complicated mortgage options. AOD Federal Credit Union is now offering new, out-of-the-box mortgage solutions. Mortgage loan manager Jamie Bailey will help find the best rates and quickest approval for you. Conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, Jumbo, HARP, and more. Call Jamie Bailey at 256-241-8218. Out-of-the-box mortgage services. Reason number 4 that you belong with AOD Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA. All loans subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions apply. Equal housing lender.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford, for the best cars and best price.
Hi, I'm Katina Houston with Family Links, and this is the Family Tip of the Week. The school year is coming to an end, which means there'll be more teen drivers loose on the roads. With statistics stating that there are over 6 million reported collisions and crashes on U.S. roads each year, how safe do you feel? Parent-driver behavior is affecting teen drivers both positively and negatively. Parents of preteens are big offenders of distracted driving. 70 to 75% of new drivers drive with the same distracted driving behavior they learned from watching their parents drive. When teens were surveyed and asked, who was your biggest influence for driving, almost 75% of new drivers said their parents were their biggest influence. So you think your kids only pay attention to your driving when they're about to get their driving permit? Wrong. From my own personal experience, I know that my 7-year-old watches everything that I do when I'm behind the wheel, which is not always a good thing. Unfortunately, collisions and car crashes are the #1 killer of teenagers. So what are you thinking now? Do you need to change some things? It's never too late to change the way you drive with children in your car. Remember, distracted driving, talking on the phone, texting while driving, answering a ringing phone, impatience, and aggressively behaving behind the wheel are all serious hazards, and our children are watching. It takes attention and skill to be a constantly safe driver. Remember, don't teach your children skills that kill. Don't drive distracted, period. And for more family tips, please contact Family Links at 256-820-5911.
And welcome to this week's edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted. First up this week in our lineup is Kimberly Braca. Miss Braca, last known to be living in Anniston. She's wanted for probation violation, trafficking in illegal drugs. And meet Ginger Couch. Miss Couch, last known to be living in Anniston. She's wanted for probation revocation on theft of property second. We'd like you to meet Camiello Bryant. Mr. Bryant, last known to be living in Oxford. He's wanted for probation revocation on unlawful distribution, possession of marijuana first, and obstruction of justice by using a false ID. And here is Henry Baker. Mr. Baker, last known to be living in Grady, Alabama. He's wanted for failure to appear in possession of a forged instrument second. And this is Christopher Butler. Mr. Butler, last known to be living in Piedmont. He's wanted for failure to appear on illegal possession of prescription drugs. And meet Tia Gates. Miss Gates, last known to be living in Anniston. She's wanted for failure to appear on writing multiple worthless checks. And this is Joseph Buckaloo. Mr. Buckaloo, last known to be living in Jacksonville. He's wanted for failure to appear on child support, a deadbeat dad. And last up for the first half of our lineup, Robert Sprung. Mr. Sprung, last known to be living in Cottondale, Alabama. He's also wanted for failure to appear on child support, another deadbeat dad. And that's it for the first half of our lineup. Stay tuned for the second half later in the show.
All right, we are back on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. We got more bad guys for you here in just a few minutes. John, we split it up into to halves here because none of those guys, we can't fit them all in one.
Halves or thirds.
Yeah. So
or maybe quarters.
The Crime Stopper segment will come up later. We'll talk about some property crimes that we need some help with. That's all still to come, but right now we want to talk about a few events that are happening locally.
We have lots of good events happening this week.
It's Law Enforcement Week, right?
It's Law Enforcement Appreciation Week, which, you know, is very important, particularly in this time of time in our nation that we step forward and appreciate law enforcement and how the brave men and women in law enforcement serve to keep the peace and uphold the Constitution and you know, fight for freedom here in the United States.
And of course, nobody appreciates law enforcement more than the FOP Auxiliary. We've got Brooklyn and Anjali from the Auxiliary here to talk with us this evening, and we appreciate you ladies being here.
Thanks for having us.
Understand tonight's a big night for you because we've got the vigil going on tonight. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, you go ahead. Well, we've got the vigil service tonight at Oxford Lake. It's going to be our second year. It's at 8 o'clock, and that's kind of a time that we kick off Police Week. We honor the fallen, and we have Chief Bill Partridge that'll be speaking for us. We've got an Anniston officer, Brett Lloyd, who will be opening with prayer. It's a really short ceremony, but it's a great way to set the tone for Police Week, so we look forward to it.
All right, so that's happening tonight. We've also got the Policeman's Ball that we're going to talk a little bit about that's happening on Saturday, but the main event that we want the public to know about is the memorial that's happening on Friday. So tell us about that and how everybody can participate.
Well, we've been working on this since January. For 4 years now, we've kind of worked with Calhoun County Sheriff's Office. They actually brought us on and let us be a huge part in the planning of the event, and it's been great. We want the public to really know that this is a time to actually honor the fallen and honor the officers that are serving today, and we have a lot, you know, going on. It starts at 6 o'clock, and it's a great service for anyone, even outside of law enforcement, to witness. So it's one of our biggest.
Where is this going to happen?
It's at Centennial Park in Anniston,
okay,
and it's at 6 o'clock on Friday.
All right, so anybody that wants to is invited to come out, and of course, If you're online, you've probably, whether you like it or not, seen videos of people celebrating the death of police officers. I'm scared to ask, how does that make you feel?
Well, we just don't pay attention to it. It's ignorant. We can't.
Mm-hmm.
We have to move forward.
Yeah, well, it's important that while that's going on, and I don't want to make that out to be a bigger thing than it is, because, John, you know, it's certainly a minority. I believe the majority of the public supports law enforcement, maybe not to the degree that we would like sometimes, but it's a growing minority.
Well, and that's the concerning thing. It's a growing minority driven by a minority of anarchists, and the trick is that the majority usually are the silent majority, while the minority is a vocal and active thing. And people wonder why these major world events happen. It's because the majority sits back and does nothing and says nothing and doesn't get active in fighting that antagonistic minority. So it's a dangerous time, and you know, not to minimize the risk, but it's scary. And for the families of law enforcement, it's just as scary to watch your spouse leave for work every day not knowing they're going to come home, just as it is for a soldier's family to say goodbye at the airport, for them to deploy for a year. Law enforcement are domestic fighters for peace.
Well, let's talk about who we're remembering at the memorial on Friday night, if I can get my mouth to work. So.
We're honoring the 27 fallen officers of Calhoun County. We actually invite several counties throughout the neighboring counties to come and just be a part of that service, because I know that a lot of counties don't do their own memorial services. So even though we are only honoring the ones that have fallen in Calhoun County, we also, you know, offer our thanks to those who served today. So it's a nice time for everybody to come together, to remember, to you know, keep that fresh in their minds, just to show even the families that we haven't forgotten and we're not going to forget. So
you said, was it 27 you said?
27, and that's back from, I think the first one was 1901 through 2011, so.
And that's the, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't our memorial the state law enforcement memorial? Mm-hmm. It's the state memorial. So it represents, here in Anniston, it represents the entire state of Alabama as a law enforcement memorial.
You know, it's a great way for the public to come out and kind of show their support, because there's going to be many law enforcement officers there. They're going to be, you know, paying their respects. And, you know, it's something that's just free for the public to come and enjoy. You might learn something. You'll get a great show. It's beautiful. So just come and show your support. It may be raining, so, you know, people might want to bring an umbrella or a rain jacket or something like that. And then if it does rain, we normally move it to?
We move it to Anniston PD in the Justin Solo Hub Justice Center. So we've got that on standby. But hopefully the rain will be over.
So the event will happen, rain or shine. We need to
absolutely.
take a break. We're going to talk some more about this coming up, and the ball as well, when we come back on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
a crackhead, drug addict, alcoholic, meth freak, a rich like me.
I once was
homeless,
broken, sad,
just lost.
But now I am
sober,
happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
Your word is rigmarole.
Can you define it?
A long, complicated, and annoying process.
Can you use it in a sentence?
The last time I tried to buy a car, I just got a big load of rigmarole.
Well, you should have gone to Jacksonville Auto Sales.
Jacksonville Auto Sales across from Walmart in Jacksonville, or find us on the web at jascars.com. Remember, Jacksonville Auto Sales, home of the no rigmarole deal.
Big news for homebuyers searching through all those complicated mortgage options. AOD Federal Credit Union is now offering new, out-of-the-box mortgage solutions. Mortgage loan manager Jamie Bailey will help find the best rates and quickest approval for you. Conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, jumbo, HARP, and more. Call Jamie Bailey at 256-241-8218. Out-of-the-box mortgage services. Reason number 4 that you belong with AOD Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA. All loans subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions apply. Equal housing lender.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford, for the best cars and best price.
And welcome to the second half of our lineup. First up this half, Demris Allman. Mr. Allman, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted for failure to pay child support, the face of a deadbeat dad. And this is Richard Donnell. Mr. Donnell, last known to be living in Oxford. He's wanted for writing multiple worthless checks. Take a look, if you would, at Jason Mahoney. Mr. Mahoney, last known to be living in Alexandria. He's wanted for harassment. And meet Holly Pace. Miss Pace, last known to be living in Anniston. She's wanted for fraudulent use of a credit card and theft of property second. And this is William Good. Mr. Good, last known to be living in Oxford. He's wanted for failure to appear on possession and receipt of a controlled substance. Take a look at Philip Jacks. Mr. Jacks, last known to be living in Oxford. He's wanted for theft of property third. And last up in our lineup this week is Jonathan McCormick. Mr. McCormick, last known to be living in Oxford. He's wanted for failure to appear on theft of property third. And that's it for our lineup this week. If you have any information on these folks, please give Crime Stoppers a call at 256-238-1414.
The Crime Stopper segment of the show is still to come here in just a little bit. We'll talk about some unsolved crimes that hopefully you can help us solve. If you do, you could get a cash reward up to $1,000 this morning. We just approved a couple of more rewards, didn't we, John?
We sure did. So there is award money out there, and we're having a lot of property crimes, a lot of sheds and outbuildings being broken into all over the county. So yeah, if you guys know anything about those, please call us and let us know.
Yeah, if you've got power tools, make sure you lock them up, and even if they're locked up, that doesn't necessarily mean they're safe. So be on the lookout for anybody that, if you see somebody around a storage building that you don't know they belong there, share that information immediately.
Call. Even if you go and buy some, chainsaws and lawnmowers and stuff from someplace you're not quite sure and you're having a second guess, this is used, bought it at a pawn shop, bought it at a yard sale, and you have a suspicion that this might not be kosher, you can call us. We might have that thing written down where we can identify, might help solve a crime and get somebody's property back to them.
All right. Well, right now we are talking with Brooklyn and Anjali from the FOP Auxiliary. We've got Friday night, the memorial that's going to be happening at Anniston's Centennial Park. That's at 6 o'clock, you said?
Yes.
Okay. And then we've also got the Policeman's Ball. Let's talk about that for just a second. And basically, this event is for law enforcement officers and a few other individuals that are connected in. And it's a sold-out event at this point. So we're not asking anybody to purchase tickets, but we want people to know that this event is happening and who's helping to make it happen.
Right, we do this every year. We do call it the Policeman's Ball, but it is open to all law enforcement, and that's statewide, nationwide, whoever would like to come. But what we like to do is we just kind of like to end Police Week with a little celebration just to show the current officers and retired how much we appreciate them and that the night is all about them. It's for them to get together, kind of let their guard down a little bit and just have some fun with their families.
Mm-hmm. I know it takes some sponsorships to put something like this on,
Absolutely.
doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Do we want to talk about them specifically, or I may be putting you on the spot because you probably don't have a list and you're going to forget somebody, but do we need to mention anyone?
I don't have a list, but I do know that we had 15 to 18 sponsors this year, and all were very large sponsorship amounts. And without them, I mean, we couldn't have made this possible. Like, just them showing their support alone has helped us to actually put this event on for all the officers in Calhoun County.
And I'm willing to bet they're not people that said, now, you're going to publicize my name a lot for this, right?
Right.
They're just saying, this is the right thing to do, I want to do this. And
we do honor them at the ball. I mean, we have a sponsorship board. We have, for our $500 sponsors, we actually display their names on tables. And they're also given tickets to the event. So we'll have, mainly law enforcement officers and their spouses there, but then we also have the sponsors that show their support invited as well.
All right, so.
And our sponsors also, some make monetary donations and some They donate for door prizes. We do door prizes for everyone who purchased tickets before. So we have many, many sponsors that we're so appreciative of them because they make the night so much fun and so easy for us. So,
and it is important to let people know that those people are sponsoring that way.
Absolutely.
As John was saying, you know, it's that vocal minority that's getting all the attention. If you say something negative about a police officer, you might get a camera in front of you and get a lot of attention about that, but there are so many people who really are stepping up, and we need the law enforcement officers to know the majority of us really are standing behind you. We've got your back.
Right, and though we would like people to obviously thank a police officer every day of the year, we really do like to focus on it this week. So, you know, if there's anybody out there who, you know, they feel the way we feel, you know, and if you see a police officer out, a law enforcement officer or a deputy, you know, just thank them. Just tell them, you know, if you've had a good experience, if you get pulled over and you're respectful, they're respectful, you have a great experience, let them know that it was a great experience.
Just being vocal helps them continue their job. So.
All right, so let's talk again about the memorial, and this is not the fun thing to talk about. Balls are a lot more fun to talk about than memorials, but 6 o'clock, this is where the public really can get involved specifically. How much does it mean to you ladies and to the men and women in uniform to see non-peace officers showing up to these events?
I know for me personally, every year as it's grown, that, I mean, my heart just swells because even though I am constantly running around throughout, from January until up to the event, just being there in that moment and seeing all those people come and support and even post on Facebook, even share the event and say, please take a moment to thank these officers, it really shows us like we're doing the right thing. We're in this for the right reasons. We want awareness is, you know, first and foremost, honestly, and that's my main goal with the FOP Auxiliary was the advocacy. And so, I mean, it means a lot to us, and I know for my husband that it means a lot to see those nice people because usually the negativity speaks louder than the good. So,
well, we need to wrap up, but I'm sure there is some more information online.
Absolutely.
Where can we find that?
We have a Facebook page.
We don't have a website currently, but we do have a Facebook page that it's FOP Auxiliary 4, and we're also known as Calhoun Women Behind the Badge. So you can look that up, and we've got all the events on there. We've been sharing them. So we hope everybody
Calhoun Women Behind the Badge.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, thank you very much, ladies. Good luck with the vigil tonight, and with the memorial on Friday, and the ball on Saturday, and get some rest on Sunday.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Thank you
so much.
We will be right back with the Crime Stopper segment of the show and our crazy criminal on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
Big news for homebuyers searching through all those complicated mortgage options. AOD Federal Credit Union is now offering new, out-of-the-box mortgage solutions. Mortgage loan manager Jamie Bailey will help find the best rates and quickest approval for you. Conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, jumbo, HARP, and more. Call Jamie Bailey at 256-241-8218. Out-of-the-box mortgage services. Reason number 4 that you belong with AOD Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA. All loans subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions apply. Equal housing lender.
For emergency and non-emergency medical transportation, you can count on Anniston EMS.
Hello, I'm Johnny Warren with Anniston EMS, and we appreciate the opportunity to provide support for the Calhoun County's Most Wanted program. And I would like to remind everyone out there that if they need any medical transportation needs, please don't hesitate to call us.
Call Anniston EMS at 256-237-8572.
Your word is rigmarole.
Can you define it?
A long, complicated, and annoying process.
Can you use it in a sentence?
The last time I tried to buy a car, I just got a big load of rigmarole.
Well, you should have gone to Jacksonville Auto Sales.
Jacksonville Auto Sales across from Walmart in Jacksonville, or find us on the web at jascars.com. Remember, Jacksonville Auto Sales, home of the no rigmarole deal.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
A crackhead, drug addict, alcoholic, meth freak, a wretch. Like me.
I once was.
Homeless.
Broken. Sad.
Just lost. But now I am sober.
Happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to to the Salvation Army.
And welcome to the Crime Stoppers portion of the show, where we ask you to put on your deer stalkers and help our investigators with these cases. And we need your help. They're hitting us hard all over the county. First up on your caseload this week, between May 1st and May 3rd, a green 2003 Honda Foreman ATV was stolen from this property located on Stone Ridge Trail north of Anniston. And sometime on May 1st, this residence on Rocky Hollow Lane in Piedmont was broken into. They got away with prescription medication and firearms. Between April 30th and May 2nd, a building located on Old Anniston-Gadsden Highway in Ohatchee was broken into. A generator and miter saw were stolen from that location. And on May 5th, a white and pink Yamaha Raptor 250 was stolen from this residence on Highway 204 in Wellington. And between May 5th and May 6th, this storage building located on Alabama Highway 9 in Piedmont was broken into. A backpack blower, weed eater, and chainsaws were stolen from that location. And sometime between May 5th and May 6th, the storage building located on Kings Gap Mountain Road in Piedmont was broken into. A hedge trimmer, air compressor, and weed eater were stolen from that location. Sometime between May 5th and May 6th, an orange utility trailer was stolen from a residence on DeArmonville Drive South in Anniston. And last up in our caseload this week, on May 5th, 4 mud tires were stolen off a tan Chevrolet Blazer while it was parked at a residence on Rocky Hollow Lane in Piedmont. And those are your cases this week. If you know anything about any of these cases, and we hope you do, I'd like you to give Crime Stoppers a call at 256-238-1414. Remember, we want your information and not your name.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
I can't believe for the 4th week in a row, we have a local crazy criminal to talk about. My job just keeps getting easier because you guys keep bringing the stories instead of me having to bring them.
You know, sometimes people just mess up in a big way. And this guy did. He was wanted on his 6th domestic violence by strangulation. So not a nice guy.
No.
Not a nice guy. And we actually had a team of people out looking for him, getting ready to go and arrest him at his at where we thought he was. And out of the blue, they're sitting there staging, and look, here he comes in his car. And they're like, hey.
He just drives by.
Isn't that him? They go, yeah. So they get after him. Of course, he runs. He sees them and sideswipes one of the patrol vehicles and starts running around Oxford. Everybody's chasing him. He's hitting cars right and left, just regular people driving around trying to do their business.
Wow.
He's running into them, heads north on 21, gets to the motor mile.
Uh-oh.
Where we've put spike strips out because we got to stop this guy. He's hitting people. Well, he blows his tires. He's going fast enough that that's a problem. Panics and takes out several of the cars on the motor mile.
New cars there at the dealerships?
There was some, well, they were new used. They were hanging, you know how they put them on the side of the road there so you can see them as you're driving by the dealership? Yes. And he learned something. He learned that, you know, you can run, but you can't get far. And we learned that there's such a thing as a $70,000 Kia, $70,000 Kia, because he took the front end right off of it. And so
now is it a separate crime for every vehicle that he hit and run?
Every vehicle he hit is a reckless endangerment, and any injuries that he caused are felony charges. So he's
running, not a good idea. We've got to run though because we are out of time. We'll be looking for you again next week, but hopefully not in the lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.